What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Stand, where we are here on this Wednesday getting in another draft before the start of the regular season. Some news, at least for today, as we go into this draft. Bo Nix has been listed as the starting quarterback. That really is the only news, at least starting-wise, quarterback. Minshew was listed as a starter earlier this week as well. We're going to come in here, though, hop into another puppy with the fact that it still has not filled up yet. It is another cheaper $5 draft. So we're going to go ahead, hop in here, and just see how ADPs have fallen for some players. Obviously rose for some since just yesterday and Monday. Keon Coleman obviously has been one of the risers that we have liked. Obviously been targeting him in the 8th. May have to do it a little bit earlier. Zamir White, though, somewhat dropping only with, I guess, reports of him and Madison somewhat splitting first-team reps here in the preseason. I'm not necessarily worried about it. Still drafting Zamir White as normal. I will say, if anything, that may just make Raheem Mostert somewhat rise up on my board a little bit too. Man, I also just realized we had the 101 here in this pick. And this is actually going to be very hard, guys. Everyone literally has a question mark. Everyone. All right. First pick. This is tough, guys. I'm actually queuing Amon-Ra St. Brown because he is the only guy right here that I honestly want. Christian McCaffrey with the cast, CeeDee Lamb with the contract, Tyreek Hill with the hand injury, Jamar Chase doesn't want to practice. Justin Jefferson has Justin Jefferson has Sam Darnold as his quarterback. Breece Hall and Bijan Robinson are the only other two running backs that probably would consider. I do like A.J. Brown. I'm hoping when I get him, when I have a pick later on in the draft, he's my wide receiver available. Garrett Wilson, of course, it all hinges on Aaron Rodgers. Puka Nacua has the knee injury. Marvin Harrison is a rookie. Jahmyr Gibbs has a hamstring injury. Jonathan Taylor tied to Anthony Richardson. Drake London, of course, could break out. Obviously, he has Kirk Cousins. I don't know. I'm still questionable on Drake London. And it's hard for me to pull the trigger here on him when there are other guys I like. I'm still a Devontae Adams believer. The fact that he is fallen here is crazy. But I'm also, Cooper Kupp rising up a little bit. The problem is it hinges all on Matt Stafford, on if he can stay injury-free, and he's already dealing with a hamstring injury, I believe. Oh, look at that. Bijan at the 9. We're 14 picks away. As we get here to the turn, who I'm essentially is hoping will be available are 2 out of these 3 running backs in Kyren Williams, Isaiah Pacheco, Derrick Henry. To be honest, I actually have a lot of Kyren Williams. I don't feel I have as much Derrick Henry stock as I would hope. So if I do get a pick of 2 out of the 3, I would more than likely go those 2 over Kyren. We're 10 picks away, and on the 1-2 turn, Z-Bot goes double running back with Jahmyr Gibbs and Devon Achane. I'll go ahead and recap this round 1. So we, of course, went Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just think he's the safest pick. Christian McCaffrey after that, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Breece Hall, A.J. Brown, Bijan Robinson, Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua, Jahmyr Gibbs, and then Devon Achane to start round 2. Nico Collins after that, Marvin Harrison from there to stack with Garrett Wilson. The Bijan owner is picking right now. And he goes Jonathan Taylor. Don't know if that was probably a timed out pick or maybe one he at least also had queued up. We are 6 picks away. Drake London goes after the Jonathan Taylor pick. Three picks away. From Drake London was Deebo Samuel, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Waddle. Chris Olave goes here. 2 picks away. There are Cooper Kupp goes, Kyron Williams, which means we do get our pick of at least the 2 guys we like here in this wide receiver or running back room. I'm going Isaiah Pacheco here for sure as one of my picks. Derrick Henry could possibly be in consideration. Means we will for sure be sleeping on the running back position until our 5th round pick. So yeah, if we can come back in or actually maybe in round 6, I'm gonna get Derrick Henry here. I'm going a lot of the times I've been going wide receiver, either Devontae Adams or Malik Neighbors would have been in consideration to basically have Amon-Ra St. Brown, have the choice of Devontae Adams or Malik Neighbors, and then have that wide receiver or that running back champion in Isaiah Pacheco. This build, I'm actually going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown is our wide receiver champion, and then going 2 running backs in Isaiah Pacheco and Derrick Henry. Zamir White still a target. Raheem Mostert still a target. We do have 2 strong starters, though, that we know we're going to be able to anchor our team with some solid wide receivers. So hoping when it gets to us that there will be some people who will fall. Travis Kelce, more than likely not. But around this time, Rashee Rice, that would be an awesome wide receiver too for us to possibly get. I'm looking around here. The quarterback play is really starting to scare me, but George Pickens to me is still an alpha wide receiver. Of course, could go Terry McLaurin. I'm a big fan of Jaden Daniels. He's a target for me later on. Mark Andrews is a target. Lamar Jackson, of course, will be a stud again. And, of course, we have Derrick Henry, so we essentially would get that stack or that Baltimore stack. So, honestly, that could be a play for or a route for me to go when it gets back to us on who's available. Like if Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews are both available in best ball, it's not a bad decision to go ahead and get that stack. We have Derrick Henry as well, so we're going to get those rushing touchdowns too, at least from Lamar and Derrick Henry. Zay Flowers goes at the 4-2. 9 picks away. There's, of course, some exciting wide receivers that are available as well. James Cook, too. I think he actually went. Yeah, James Cook actually went a few picks before. We're 8 picks away. Let me go ahead pick up from when we went Derrick Henry. Of course, Malik Neighbors went right after us. That owner went Christian McCaffrey and Kyron Williams started running back, and then Malik Neighbors essentially flipped. So it's just who you like more. Do you like Christian McCaffrey, Kyron, and Malik Neighbors, or Amon-Ra St. Brown, Isaiah Pacheco, and Derrick Henry? That's essentially how it felt to us. Another team going Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, DK Metcalf, and a lot of the other teams went either straight wide receiver or wide receiver and 1 running back. We are actually 3 picks away. Travis Kelce goes. Rashee Rice goes. We miss out on some guys we were hoping on. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Stephon Diggs, Michael Pittman Jr., T. Higgins, Trey McBride, Xavier Worthy. That would have been exciting as well. Well, here's the thing. We could either go wide receiver here or attack and get some key onesie positions. I think that's the route I'm going to go. We are going to go the Baltimore stack here, essentially having Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, and Derrick Henry. Rashad Bateman is going to be a target later on for a wide receiver that we will be trying to get on a roster, purely for the fact we will be needing depth pieces. Just looking at this build right now, tight ends taken care of, quarterbacks taken care of. Hoping Jaden Daniels could still fall to round 9, 10, maybe 11. More than likely will not. But we still have last year's MVP on our team. And now we just have to make sure that we can identify some key wide receivers to help us out. There are some strong rookies. A lot of people know Keon Coleman is who I've been targeting. Brian Thomas Jr. is another one, of course, to be targeted as well. Ladd McConkey will have a role. But to me, at least those two, and Keon Coleman and Brian Thomas, are the two that I am targeting and hoping will fall. With this being 16 picks away, I'm going to go ahead and see who may be around here. And around this time will be Brian Thomas Jr., Keon Coleman. Unfortunately, I feel that we will be missing out on Zamir White, that running back who we really like. If we go double wide receiver here, this is I guess, kind of the what you sacrifice later on in your draft. Obviously, when you decide to shore up some of those top those onesie positions with top guys. However, now you lose out on some key pieces. So obviously, we went Derrick Henry. Could have had either Devontae Adams or Malik Neighbors as that wide receiver too, and then just have Pacheco. Because truth be told, there's going to be a lot more running backs in this 6 to pretty much 8 or 9 range that you can fill up your roster with, good 3-4 guys. You got to choose the right ones, but you really do have that. Oh, wow, Keon Coleman at the beginning of the 6. Oh, he's a Josh Allen owner, so he definitely wanted that stack. Christian Watson, Keon Coleman, that's the only 2 wide receivers. But, wow, so we lose out on Keon Coleman. That means we're going to have to do digging, see if there's any other wide receivers that may possibly fall to us. If not, I will just go based on the value of we do like Zamir White. Brian Thomas Jr. is there. I do like Caleb Williams as well. Khalil Shakir could possibly fall to us later on. Do love Keon Coleman, but Khalil Shakir will have a role as well. George Pickens goes right there, 6 picks before us. Chris Godwin, 4 picks before us. Alvin Kamara with a back injury, return back to practice. George Kittle, Hollywood Brown, 2 picks. Anthony Richardson, 1 pick away. And David Montgomery. So right now, the 2 smart picks would be Brian Thomas and Deontay Johnson. Brian Thomas for sure will be a pick. We will be missing out on Zamir White should we go, but I'm gonna do that. I need 3 starting wide receivers. There's really none later on that we like. Deontay Johnson is the last one. We do miss out on Zamir White, but this is the sacrifice essentially this team will take, with the fact that we went Derrick Henry there, or we went Mark Andrews, or decided to spend up on Lamar Jackson rather than try and wait for Jaden Daniels. Here in the 8th, here in the 9th. So when you get some of these big guys, you do miss out on these other ones. I mean, I could have taken him, but then been really light and had to depend purely on Amon Ra and Brian Thomas, and of course fill this out. There will be another Carolina wide receiver we will be targeting in Xavier Legette. I do like him as a rookie. Did get snagged with that minor foot injury, but I think he can take over later on in the year. He has the size, he has the speed, and he will gladly have a spot on our team. Curtis Samuel messing with the turf toe. Cortland Sutton is a starting wide receiver. You make sure to cue him up. Joshua Palmer is a starting wide receiver. Romeo Dobbs could be a key player. Preseason has been light, but Jalen Polk still running with the ones. Darnell Mooney could surprise. He is a veteran. Xavier Legette. Queuing up Jahan Dotson purely if we are able to get Jaden Daniels on our team. $13 picks away. Zamir White within 5 or 6. Cortland Sutton actually goes. Ramondre Stevenson. Jamison Williams. It's a nice little build here. Z-Bot with Raheem. Z-Bot's got some players. Jake Ferguson goes there. 9 picks for us. But look at that. Raheem Mostert, at least over Zamir White. I mean, he was at the turn, so when you are at the turn, you essentially have to take the guys that you want. Evan Ingram, just purely knowing that they will not be getting back to you whatsoever. Caleb Williams there. Wow, Caleb Williams early. DeAndre Hopkins. Here at this turn, I know if we really want Jaden Daniels and he is there, we're going to have to take him there. 3 picks away. Man, a lot of these guys need running backs. Cowboy would be smart to go Zamir. He goes Zamir. He wouldn't have made it past us. Our pick. Wow, actually lucked out. Dak Prescott goes. Jordan Love goes. Jaden Daniels will be a pick of ours. After that, I am just kind of thinking who exactly to go with. Right now, I do have Brian Robinson Jr. I think he is the 1A to the 1B of Austin Eckler there. Other ones to consider, Chase Brown, Cincinnati. That is a guy you could take a chance on. Jonathan Brooks there, possibly for later on. I just think Brian Robinson is his nickname should be consistency, because I think is exactly what he will be this season, is just consistent. So balancing out this roster best we can. We are going to need some wide receivers for sure. 20 picks away. And if we're 20 picks away, the thing for us is we have a shot of at least getting Jerome Ford or Rico Dowdle as one more running back. Possibly take a chance on Austin Eckler, Trey Benson. Queuing up some guys I just like. You really are taking a shot at some guys when you start scrolling far enough. I'll stop and cue that up for right now. We are 13 picks away. 13 picks away means we still have a shot at Jerome Ford or Rico Dowdle. Could go Blake Corum, but we didn't go Kyron Williams, so there's really no need to essentially shore up that insurance. Other running backs to consider: Trey Benson, Jalen Polk is here. Of course, Austin Eckler as well. Where with us being at the turn, there's no way he's going to be falling back to us. So it's just purely how we want to go about and just fill this roster. I feel like the best bet from here is just going to be, instead of kind of double tapping guys on one position, go ahead and just go one-on-one. So say like Jerome Ford or a running back here, and then also taking a wide receiver. Just knowing that Jalen Polk more than likely won't fall to us. We're 5 picks away. Still have a shot at Jerome Ford. Jared Goff is also in consideration for us, purely with the fact that we do also have Amon-Ra St. Brown. He would be our third quarterback who would also essentially take care of us during that Week 14 bye when Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff are away. So those two right now kind of in consideration for the picks of Jerome Ford and Jared Goff. Yes, we shore up our quarterback positions first before our wide receivers. However, Jerome Ford actually goes, so we won't have to make that choice. Jared Goff then will be one of our picks. Another wide receiver here, Tyler Lockett. What is the... So Jared Goff's going to be our pick here, but Tyler Lockett is actually interesting to me. Yes, we do have a shot, Jalen Polk, but I still think Tyler Lockett is a veteran. He's dealing with that minor leg injury, but I still think he has a role. Of course, everyone thinks Jackson Smith and Jigba will take that jump, and I think he will take a jump, but from my understanding, Tyler Lockett still going to be a piece there. So the only bad part with us going a wide receiver there is the fact that there's probably a lot more wide receivers later on that we could always add on to our team that could possibly bring us some value. The problem here is we only have 3 running backs, and if we at least would have came out with a fourth one, and in a fourth one, whether that been Austin Eckler, who would have been the backup to Brian Robinson Jr., just to shore up that we have that Washington backfield. We do have Jaden Daniels, so it would have made sense to get those extra PPR points added to that stack. And then, of course, kind of attack the backups of either Deneric Prince and maybe take a shot at Keaton Mitchell. We at least need an RB to get us some form of points, and on that Week 14 bye, that's where we're for sure lacking. We're 13 picks away. Trey Benson honestly would have been a great pick for that, knowing that he eventually would take over later on in the year. Ooh. Please be available still. I would actually take a shot on those two of Chuba Hubbard and Jaleel McLaughlin. Braylon Allen is a stud as well. Found the Brees owner. I'm of course getting Braylon Allen. Trey Benson goes right there. Tyler Algier right after. Still 9 picks away from us. 8 picks with Pat Freiermuth going. 7 picks. Some wide receivers we like queued up. More than likely will go. Hey, Ezekiel Elliott's there. Ty Chandler. Ty Chandler could be an interesting pick as well. 4 picks away. J.K. Dobbins goes there. Zach Charbonnet goes after that. 2 picks. Our pick right now. Ty Chandler does go. Xavier Legette, we do lose out on a chance to get him. Wow, actually really surprised with some of the running backs available and, of course, some of the wide receivers available. Chuba Hubbard, to me, provides some value right here, at least for the first 4 weeks. We definitely need a running back to shore up that position. This one right here, it's either Jalen Polk, Darnell Mooney, or Jahan Dotson. Think I'm going to go ahead, had Jaleel McLaughlin queued up right there. I was hesitant because I knew there was no other running back really available that could give us any value, so we'll shore up that running back position. 2,500. I will say this will more than likely be one of the lightest projected points we probably do this week. Tight ends and running backs start going. $16 picks away. May have a shot at Rashad Bateman. That would be awesome. Right now, the next one we do have queued up is at least Jalen McMillan. I will look at some of these other wide receivers, though. Tim Patrick right now, I believe, slated as the wide receiver 2. So that is someone who is in consideration. Really don't want any piece of the Denver offense, but I will take depth on any roster to just try and give me some type of value for the season. So Tim Patrick, could surprise, just be able to provide some points throughout the week. This is best ball. We don't have to worry about sliding him in as our starter, or trying to depend who we are going to get. Braylon Allen, is he the Brees owner? No, he's not. Those wide receivers scare me. I mean, Keon Coleman to me is the starter, but Oof. Five picks away. Rashad Bateman within 3. Rashad Bateman within 2. Baker Mayfield goes. Audric Estime. I'm really hoping this could be Rashad Bateman and Patrick. Hey, Bo Nix goes there. One more pick, hoping this guy needs honestly anything else other than another wide receiver. He goes Geno Smith, which arguably leaves us with 2 great wide receiver selections. Both of these guys have the opportunity or are wide receiver 2s on their team. Rashad Bateman, we get to pair up with Lamar Jackson. But also, I believe Tim Patrick. We're going to go ahead. We're going to trust that he is the wide receiver 2 there. It gives us a shot at getting those points weekly. And I am just doing my best and try and find the best value this late in the draft, especially as wide receivers. Jalen McMillan goes right after that. He was the other one who was in consideration. $19 picks away from us. Back to 27. Let's see if we can maybe get that to 28 at least. That would make me feel better. But yeah, that is correct. We are only 3 picks left in this draft. These 20 seconds really do make it fly by, which is nice because you can come in here, just squeeze in a quick draft and get your practice in. 15 picks. Around here. Malachi Corley. Tank Bigsby. How many running backs we got? We only got 5 on the roster. Man, you really are just fishing for whatever you can find down here. Apex 2, at least to us. Jordan Mason right there. Great backup rookie. Greg George, Justin Fields, 5 picks away from us. You know, we do need some tight ends here in this position as well. Technically, we do have all 6 wide receivers that we need on this team, which means tight end is the position that we need to attack. 3 picks away. There are some starters. Colby Parkinson, Theo Johnson, Zach Ertz is someone who we are also targeting as well. Going to go double tight end here, going Colby Parkinson, who I believe is slated as the starter there, and going Zach Ertz, who is the tight end that is tied to Jaden Daniels. Right now he's listed as a starter. Hopefully, Ben Sinnott does not take over his starting position just like what happened last year with Trey McBride. Honestly, history could repeat itself, and Ben Sinnott would be the pick right there. But right now, we have Mark Andrews anchoring that team. If Zach Ertz can at least just start and be healthy throughout the season, I believe he has a chance to give us some value throughout the season. So that's pretty much our draft. After that, really just hoping may get Deneric Prince, kind of the only one I have queued up. I guess I could have stayed Theo Johnson queued up purely just based on the value if he falls. But no one else really will give us the value we need on our team other than the fact that we have a chance to secure at least one backfield. Of course, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is there. I believe he is that third down running back, though. I don't necessarily think he would be the main guy should anything happen to Pacheco. I kind of like what Deneric Prince has been showing on the field. However, he does have to just continue to get better. Tyrone Tracy goes there. So yes, as we are 12 picks away, starting in this last round, go ahead and recap just how we came out. We were one of a few teams that actually started off with two running backs in the first three rounds. Zebot actually went two running backs with a quarterback tied in there, punting the wide receiver position. But gonna go ahead and recap this. We decided to go Amon-Ra St. Brown. Honestly, the one guy here in this top five or six guys that has the least amount of question marks. So Amon-Ra St. Brown was our guy, was our champion. After that, traditional draft: Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Breece Hall, A.J. Brown, Bijan Robinson, Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua, Jahmyr Gibbs to close out round one. Z-Bot ended up double tapping running back going Devon A-Chain, Nico Collins, Marvin Harrison, Jonathan Taylor, Drake London, Deebo Samuel, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams before us, which left us with our running back options of Isaiah Pacheco and Derrick Henry. From that third spot, though, it was really high in consideration of either Malik Neighbors or Devontae Adams, and just starting off with Pacheco being our RB champion. However, decided to get two stout running backs and go Pacheco and Henry this draft and just see how it would turn out. Coming back, ended up going Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson. From there, trying to get some wide receivers in Brian Thomas Jr. and Deontay Johnson. Jaden Daniels in the 8th, Brian Robinson Jr. in the 9th, Jared Goff in the 10th, Tyler Lockett in the 11th. Got a couple running backs in Chuba Hubbard and Jaleel McLaughlin. Two wide receivers in Rashad Bateman and Tim Patrick, with Colby Parkinson being our last pick. Well, not our last pick. Our last pick actually ended up being Deneric Prince, who we did have queued up, which thankfully was still there. We're going to queue up this roster, and just see. Yeah, ended up with going Colby Parkinson, Zach Ertz to tie with Jaden Daniels. And this is the balanced roster. Look at that, projected 2,900. I didn't even think we were going to get 28. So this, to me, is a successful squad to look at or keep an eye on for the year. Once again, looking at these quarterbacks: Lamar Jackson, Jane Daniels, Jared Goff. Running backs: Isaiah Pacheco, Derrick Henry, Brian Robinson Jr., Chuba Hubbard, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Deneric Prince to help back up Isaiah Pacheco should anything happen. Our wide receivers, we definitely have some wild cards and question marks other than our champion in Amon-Ra St. Brown. But Brian Thomas Jr., Deontay Johnson, Tyler Lockett, Rashad Bateman, Tim Patrick, who is, reports are, he's the wide receiver 2 there in Denver, even though we don't really want any Denver guys in our squad. Tight ends, Mark Andrews, Colby Parkinson, Zach Ertz. 2,900 projected for this squad, picking at the one spot, going wide receiver with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like I said, to me, he has the least amount of question marks. Hopefully, we'll see if we get back into another puppy maybe tomorrow. If not, I have a 14-team draft that I am going to be prepping for that I honestly will be showing with y'all more than likely Friday. May do it back-to-back just to get more practice in. But you guys will see there's some teams that already have some keepers in different rounds. So we'll be able to see how a 14-team shapes out to be, especially with those rosters or those positions starting to thin out with those extra added guys in your league. So really appreciate you following along this week or today's episode on this Puppy 3. Be back at it again tomorrow, guys. So y'all take care. Good luck drafting if you're drafting today. If not, keep getting your practice in for your draft. And yeah, guys, we'll be drafting here every day until the start of the regular season. So you guys take care. Bye.